Hello, and welcome to the WebDev Guild HTML Syntax Badge. My name is Alex, and let's get started. HTML was invented by a guy named Tim Berners-Lee. He was working for CERN, and he needed a way to write documents that he could easily share with his colleagues. And so he invented a couple of things to help him out with that. One of them you probably already know about. It's called the URL. It's a way of specifying a specific location of a file. Another thing that he invented is called HTML, and it is the format which you use to create these documents. It stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's a language that allows you to create documents with hyperlinks and hypermedia like images and videos inside of it. The latest version of HTML is called HTML5, and we're going to get started right away writing some HTML5. So the first thing you need to do when you're writing HTML is to create or to put in the doc type. It looks something like this, and it tells the web browser that you are using HTML. It's part of the standard, it's just something that you do. It's important to make sure that you specify that. This particular doc type tells the browser that you're using HTML5, and it lets you use all of the features that HTML5 provides. The next thing that you do is you write an HTML tag. Now take a look at this really quick. The HTML tag has the letters HTML in the middle of it, but notice that the tag starts and ends with a bracket like that, kind of encloses it. And it also has an ending tag here at the end. The ending tag looks about the same as the start tag, but it has a slash at the beginning of the tag name that says this is the end of the HTML tag. And so you can know everything in between here is my HTML stuff. So now we can actually put stuff inside of this HTML tag, and that stuff will be available to our web browser. Now there are two parts of every HTML document. There's the stuff that actually shows up on the web page, and that stuff is called the body. So we'll create a body tag for all the stuff that we want to put on the web page. And then there's the stuff behind the scenes, stuff that describes the web page itself, but isn't actually displayed on the web page. We put the stuff that describes the web page inside of a tag called head. So you can think of this kind of like an actual person, where you have the head at the very top and then you have the body underneath. And the head has all of the information about the HTML, the web page, but the body has all of the stuff that actually does stuff. The head tag can take a tag inside of it called title. And the title is what appears up here at the top. So the title of this web page is A Pen by Alex. I can make this title whatever I want, like my awesome website. Title, there. Now notice it's not going to change up here because I'm using CodePen, which is a code sandbox. So this HTML is going to appear in this box down here, but I can't actually change the title up here. But if I have an actual HTML page, like this one here, there's no text here yet. But you can see up here I have a title tag that says My Awesome Website. And if I view the page source, you can see that I have my head tag here and I have my title tag here, and it says My Awesome Website. Awesome. So let's go back to this. Now that we have our stuff inside the head tag, it can take a lot more stuff, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to move on to the body. And inside the body, we're going to put actual content. Text. We won't worry about images or anything special today. We're just going to do text. And the most basic thing you can put in a body tag is just that, text. So I'm going to say, this is an awesome website. And my text appears down here. Yay, I made a website. Suppose I want to put another line that says, hello world. Except, uh-oh, it's not appearing on another line. That's because in HTML, any kind of white space is just a space in HTML. So a regular space like that, a tab like that, or if I were to put a complete line break, a return in there, all of that is just a space. And it's going to appear on the same line. So in order to actually make this into a rich document that has those line breaks and such, I'm going to have to use a special tag. In this case, the tag is called P. The P stands for paragraph, and anything inside of this P tag is going to be on its own paragraph. So I can say hello world here. And hey, it's on its own line. Now it's kind of hard to tell when there's just one line, so let me make another P tag. And you can see there that it appears on 2 lines. Awesome. So now I'm able to have multiple lines of text. Okay? The next tag that I want to show you is the header tags. This is actually 6 different tags that all provide the header functionality. Headers are usually bigger, bolder, and are placed at the top of the web page to explain what the content underneath is about. So let me start with the biggest, H1. And it's going to appear, and it's really big and bold. Okay? Now let me do another one, H2. Oh, hey, look at that. Looks like I made a little mistake with my syntax here. This is just an example of why it's important to make sure that you write your HTML well. In this case, I have my opening H2 tag, but I don't have a closing H2 tag. And so that means all of this content underneath it is going to be rendered as if it were an H2 tag. That's not necessarily what we want. We want it to have the H2 tag just on its own line. And so I want to make sure that I always have a closing tag in the right place for whatever tag I'm working with. So now that that's closed, these appear correctly, and I can say this is a subheader, and it's going to be a little bit smaller, still bold, but not quite so prominent, and it's going to be underneath here. The next thing I need to show you is tags that go inside of other tags. That's right, you can nest tags inside of each other to get a little bit more functionality out of them, or to style your text the way that you want it to be styled. And so here I'll do a P tag and I'll say I ate an awesome burrito today and it was really good. That's kind of a boring sentence. Like, I said it kind of funny there, but if you were to just read this, you'd say, I ate an awesome burrito today and it was really good. I mean, that really does not convey how good this burrito was. And so I'm going to put a couple of tags on the inside here. I want to emphasize the fact that I ate this today, so how about I make it italic? And I'll use the EM tag. The EM stands for emphasis. And so it's going to make everything inside of the tag be italic. Now notice, I have my open P tag here and my close P tag here. I also have my open EM tag here and my close EM tag here. And so everything inside of this EM is going to be italic down here. Now, I want to make sure that people really know that I was eating a burrito, or rather that it was an awesome burrito. So I'm going to use the strong tag. Now, if you take a look at this, you'll be able to tell what it does. It makes it bold. So this emphasis tag, M, makes it italic. Strong makes it bold. You can think, oh, strong. Finally, I want to make sure that people know that it was really, really good. So I'm going to say strong, and I'm also going to say M. Now I'll come over here, and now notice it's going to actually appear correctly down here. It's really good. But I actually wrote this HTML wrong. Notice I open with strong, and then I open with M, but then I close with strong and I close with M. That actually isn't right. You have to think of this like Russian dolls, where you have one tag inside of another, and then you have to put the lids on correctly. Otherwise, it's going to be all out of order. So here, I actually want to make sure that my M tag is inside, completely enclosed in the strong tag, so that it is correct HTML. So now, my entire HTML, or my entire sentence here says, I ate an awesome burrito today, and it was really good. See, makes a difference. So, this is just a few basic tags to explain how the syntax of HTML works. Just as a quick recap, you need to make sure you have a doc type to explain that you're using HTML and that it's HTML5. You have an HTML tag that encloses your entire document. Any information or metadata about the document is at the top in the head tag, and you can use a title in the head tag to put a title in your tab bar. Then your body tag has all of the stuff that actually shows up on the web page itself. You have headers. Your headers can go from 1 to 6. 6 is really small. Not very apparent at all. So there's a small H6. You can use P tags to divide lines. Suppose that you didn't want to divide the line though, there actually is a tag for that too. It's called span. And when you use a span, it doesn't jump to the next line. And actually I need to have a space there because there's no space right there. So when you use a span, it's just going to stay all on the same line. But P's jump lines, so they're actual paragraphs. And then you can use strong tags to make it bold, EM tags to make it italic. You can nest tags together so that they use both of their properties at the same time. Make sure that you open and close your tags in the correct order, and make sure that you close out all your tags at the end. One more thing that I didn't explain, but that you'll need to know in the future, is about attributes or attributes, depending on how you pronounce it. So let me show you this page here really quick. This is the anatomy of an HTML element. So you can see here we have the HTML element name here, and the content here, and the closing tag here. But you also have this attribute. It has a name and it has a value. The name in this case is class, and the value is description, but I could put anything I want inside of that value. There are certain attributes that can be assigned to certain elements. Class is one that you can assign to any HTML tag whatsoever. And when you're writing them, you just write the name, and then an equal sign, and then quotes with whatever you want the value to be. So that's the basics of HTML syntax. Keep on keeping on, I guess. I'll have to find a better way to close these, but you're awesome.